North Dakota Republican lawmakers must think they're in Texas or North Carolina because they're pursuing the same kinds of voter discrimination that's become so popular with voter suppressionists in those other states. They passed voter suppression tactics designed to stomp on the rights of 40,000 Native Americans. Here's where it gets really weird. They started their discrimination after early voting had already begun. Got to give points for creativity to the North Dakota Republicans because all of the voter suppression actions in most other states has been to keep black, brown, and poor people from voting, but not in North Dakota. Their anti-constitutional genius is designed to keep poor Native Americans down. It seems that all those broken treaties over the centuries didn't constitute enough cruelty to satisfy the supremacist power thirst of these Republicans. And the story gets worse. Native Americans challenged that law in federal court, which stopped it. But then the Republican North Dakota Secretary of State appealed to the 8th District Court, which reversed the lower court and allowed the discriminatory law to stand. That decision was appealed to the Supreme Court, which decided that the law should go into effect. So who cares? We don't care about Native Americans any more than we cared about Puerto Ricans when the hurricane slashed through that island and killed 2,975 Americans. None of them is from white European stock, so who cares? Then there's the deceit of the Kavanaugh debacle. Read the letter from Dr. Christine Blasey Ford's lawyers posted halfway down the linked HuffPost article. You'll come away with clarity about the fundamental dishonesty of the Republican members of the Senate Judiciary Committee. To wrap a bow around that, there's a link to Donald Trump mocking Dr. Blasey Ford. His words aren't only cruel, they're utterly false. But really, if you're in power, who cares? A football coach, an athletic director, and 15 high school kids were killed, and yet more were injured by a gunman at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida on Valentine's Day this year. Don't even try to imagine how you would cope if one of your children had been shot dead at school, because unless you've lived it, there isn't even a remote possibility that you understand. But Fred Guttenberg does, and he knows that doing something to help is what must be done. Guttenberg's daughter, Jamie, was one of those killed that awful day in Florida. Jamie was a dancer, and she often helped those in need. She was small in stature, but took action to stop bullying. She simply cared about doing things to help others. So Fred created a foundation to do just that. It's called Orange Ribbons for Jamie, and I urge you to take a look. Watch Fred's short video on the About page of the foundation's website. Then take action to be like Jamie. Do something to help others, like contributing to this foundation. Fred is completely transparent about what the foundation supports, and, not surprisingly, that includes common sense gun safety reforms. And support March for Our Lives, too. You remember David Hogg, Cameron Kasky, and Emma Gonzalez? Those kids who were wise beyond their years and who both broke your heart and filled it as they spoke out on that day of murder in Parkland. They're still speaking out, and you can believe that they won't stop until we defeat the gun lobby, whose only care is the profit to be made selling yet more guns. They won't stop until we decide as a country that our children's lives are more precious than an unlimited arsenal in the house of any angry nutbag in this country. Chip in to help this movement, because the answer to the question, who cares, is you. Hashtag we are the mob. Hashtag we will vote. I'm Jack Altshuler.